That I buy because I know I'm going to break them. So this one's actually worth something. So I got the giant OtterBox weapon case.
Nice.
I want like the old like sat phone, brick phone, but as an attachment to like a really thin svelte phone.
Just to make it look cool.
So you're texting on it, you know, and people are like, "Wait, what is that guy doing?"
Let me just get my attachment.
I'm texting Mars right now.
Yeah, are you setting up Morse code? Yeah,
or the old car phone
company
style
called Apple. I think we should buy some.
Yeah,
buy some stock in this. Buy, sell. Walking around with that. Somebody's got to do that. There's got to be
buy, sell. Just yelling that everywhere you go.
No. Yes. Okay, I probably shouldn't yell into the microphone as we're going live. But all right, let's get down to this. We are live. Hello, everyone. This is Trends with Benefits. This is our weekly Roundtable Tech podcast here at Digital Trends. We're, of course, available on iTunes or wherever you get podcasts. But also, we are live right now on Facebook and YouTube. We have a lot of topics to get to today. Probably too many topics, but we're going to do it anyway. So we're going to have, towards the end, we're going to talk about a beer robot, which that's all I need to say about that. We've got a car vending machine, self-explanatory. We've also got a TV roundup. We're going to talk about QLED versus OLED. Explanatory. It's extra planetary.
It's not from this world.
It's an intergalactic.
Formerly from this world.
It's an intergalactic car vending machine. It's not a big deal. Don't worry about it.
There are no mistakes I can make on this show without getting instantly called out.
Elon Musk heard that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's like, oh shit, an intergalactic car vending machine.
This is the peanut gallery to the side. We're going to talk about the new Apple AirPod rumors, and we're going to talk right at the start here about the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 rumors, because there are a bunch of those that are coming out right now, and we're talking about what feature you would most like to see in your next smartphone. So as we're live on Facebook and YouTube, we want to see your comments, your questions, what you think, what your opinions are on that. Let us know what those are. Let's introduce our cast of characters here. I'm Greg Nibler, and to my right,
I am Rick Stella. I'm the outdoor editor for DT.
Hello, Rick Stella. You're looking outdoorsy too today. I mean, if you're watching live right now,
plaid going
it's a lumberjacky kind of
brown chinos.
Yeah, it's very outdoors.
Yeah, I was chopping wood right before I came over here. Exactly. The calluses on my hands are just.
He lives in a tent in the
He's more of a Metro Jack. The wood was sustainable bamboo.
It was, yeah.
And he was building a tiny home.
All right, and we have a first-time attendee here for Trends with Benefits.
Yes, I am Parker. I am an AV writer. I'm one of Caleb's minions.
Oh,
wow!
Does he make you say that?
No. I'm mostly a headphone jockey, but sometimes do speakers and other stuff.
Good job, dude. You're totally getting that raise now.
You're not supposed to say it in public around other people.
HR's already knocking down the door.
Yeah, you make them call you minions.
You want to be on the show? Yeah, come on in.
All right, and on the end, back after what, a 3-week, almost a month hiatus.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
Because you've been traveling all over the place,
seeing all the good stuff,
just sprinkling
all
that
the
whiskey
good
mist everywhere.
Right? I don't even need an introduction. Now.
You flew over sprinkling whiskey mist all over the country. Yeah, that's what it is.
Is that whiskey?
It is Caleb Denison joining us here. Hello, Caleb.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be back.
How have you been on your travels?
Well, it's been a little mixed bag. I did really well, and then I got really sick. And then I did really well again. So I sandwiched it with some sickness. It's fine. I'm good.
You went to New York like 4 times in a week or something.
Yeah. I did go to New York twice. I went for the Easter, they called it. I was there for Nor'easter number 3 and Nor'easter number 4. It's like when I fly in, New York brings the crap weather, and they threaten to shut the city down. And that's only actually ever happened once. That happened last year too. Went all the way out to New York for a Samsung event, and they canceled it because the city shut down. It sleeps when there's a lot of snow.
Whiskey mist.
Not a single Starbucks open for at least an 8-block radius. That's how I characterize what happened. That was last year. This year, not so big of a deal. We got to see everything. But this last one, it threatened to shut the city down. Lots of people canceled and didn't come to Sony's event, which was too bad because it was great.
But you were there.
Yeah, and I was supposed to go down to LG, tour Netflix, and Technicolor, and do all this cool stuff on a little 2-dayer down there. Short flight. That was the easy one. Couldn't make it. I woke up in the morning. I was like, I am not getting on a plane because I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
And also, I was like, if I'm just going to spend the next 48 hours in bed, I just as soon do it at home watching Netflix than be in some, boutique hotel in LA where the bottles of water cost $8, and I'm running up this huge tab. Plus, I can also drink whiskey in the privacy of my home
There you go.
and not look like a dumbass.
You're like touring Netflix headquarters. You're like, no, I'm going to watch Netflix here. Drinking
Netflix at
whiskey.
my house.
Yeah, right.
I got a flask. It's fine. I got a cold. It's medicine.
Where's your guys' nearest bed?
Just roll out a mat. Yeah, there you go. That's exactly how it
It's
should be.
brown flavored NyQuil.
Trust me, it's
Brown flavored, yeah.
Kids, it's basically the same thing.
movie.
It's
brown
maple.
flavor
It's
taste?
maple NyQuil. It's not a big deal. I come from Oregon. It's fine.
Got a nice hint
It
of oak.
lubricates the larynx,
Well, it is good to have you back because we have a lot to get to. We have a lot to talk about, and we need some whiskey missed opinions on here. So, as we're
'em.
dropping this in, again, the question is, what feature are you looking for in your next smartphone? Like, what is the one feature that you want? And we were kind of talking about, there are a lot of retro features that are coming out. I saw Palm is coming back. I think it's Huawei. I can't remember exactly who it is, but somebody's bringing essentially the Palm Pilot back.
Palm. I thought you said
Palm.
palm as in pomegranate.
I thought he said Pong. I was like, I bet Pong's even here right now.
Things sound great.
Yeah, right.
Palm. One of those. Anyway.
Pomade.
Palm.
Okay.
So that's coming back. Anyway, a lot of that stuff. We're talking about, though, in particular, the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. And there's a lot of rumors, actually, that are coming out right now. It's breaking news as far as it looks like the launch may be in early July or August, which is sooner than I think a lot of people anticipated to try to get the jump on whatever the next iPhone is going to be. And they're trying to get this out. And then some of the rumors and speculations that it's going to have or it's not going to have are finally maybe the in-screen fingerprint sensor, which apparently is the hardest thing in the entire world for any phone company to work out.
It is hard.
Yeah, but I mean, it is. It seems like they spend so much resources on trying to figure this out. Is that something that's really a groundbreaker for everyone? I mean, is this
People are like,
what
no,
you
it's
have
fine.
to
They're like,
have?
no, you do want that. We're like,
Can't
no,
be
it's
on
okay.
the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Freak out if it's on the back.
Exactly. It's just on the back. It's not that big a deal. Like I've had it on the
not what
back
I
for
want.
my LG for years. And
Right.
I don't know, but I guess
No
that's a
headphone
big
jack.
And the
thing.
S9 has it on the back too, right?
I think so. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
the
S9
one they
has
just
it.
came out with.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So that's one of the things. The other part is that it might be foldable, and this is what we've been anticipating
not
at some
gonna be
point.
foldable.
I'm just saying what the rumors are. We already got our negative Nancy over there, but
Yep.
I'm just saying these are the rumors. Now, what you think about those? That's something else. So foldable might be one of them. And then as far as size, it may go bigger than a Note 8, although some people are saying it might be the same size as a Note 8, which at this point we are getting comically large with the size of these phones. I mean, who
It's
really...
that 80s phone that we were talking about.
That's exactly
But
it.
if they get like taller and wider, it's like, what version of iPad are you talking on? Like, oh no, this is my Note 14.
So-
It's just
How
Yeah.
foldable are we talking too? Because
flip phone
Yeah, are
foldable?
we talking
Yeah.
laptop size? Like, what's the? How does it fold?
And that's fair. That's
Like
exactly...
taco phone?
I think, well,
Or
as far as
fully
the
foldable?
foldable OLED, as far as fully foldable, the ones that I've seen, or as far as what they've been talking about, is where it would fold. It would have basically hinges in the middle, but the OLED screen
like
would
a flip
fold.
phone,
Like a flip phone.
but it would have like a full screen like this.
But have a full screen.
Be a flip phone.
Yeah.
Sounds
yeah.
like a terrible, unnecessary idea. It's not going to happen with the Note 9.
You don't think so?
Well, the
No.
hinges are going to look like crap anyway.
Look,
It's
the
like,
rumor
it'd be
mill,
huge.
rumor
Yeah.
mill needs something to talk about,
Yes.
and that's one of the things they came up with. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Nope.
So what?
If I'm wrong,
Next topic.
S9 is
is
stupid. Next.
Stupid.
No, you know
All
what?
right.
I would advocate for their implementing. I think the best feature that they could put in this new phone or any new phone is anti-explosion technology. I think that would be. I'm sorry, that was too
You
easy.
like just got back from seeing Samsung, dude. didn't you?
I know. They're like,
Like, hey man,
you know.
all those embargoes, we just pushed them out a week for you.
That TV
They did
will
that for
never
me.
come.
Yeah.
No, I think that what's interesting is we just published an article that put the Samsung Galaxy S9 against the Note 8.
Everything.
A Huawei
X,
phone. There was
yeah.
like
Right.
five
Pixel,
different
yeah,
phones.
too,
The
yeah.
iPhone X was or 10 was on there.
Yeah, sure.
And they did a speed test. David Kojin, the unlocker guy, did this for us, and I watched it. It was really interesting to see how. I mean, I think it's the 845 Snapdragon is the processor that they put
Yes.
in this, and that's what we're going to see in the S9 Plus. So same processor, right? No faster than the S9, just bigger.
For the S9 Plus.
And a few
yeah.
other feature, they'll put the stylus in there, whatever they call that, the S Pen.
Yes.
And that'll be cool. But in this speed test where we put the S9 against the Note 8, prior gen phone, the Note 8 actually beat the S9 at a couple of speed tests, and this is just opening apps, nothing complicated, not playing games,
right?
But opening a series of apps: Facebook, Twitter, Pokemon Go. And a couple of others, and the Note 8 was like
Note 8 was faster.
It's actually faster in a couple of instances, and it's hard to know exactly what influences that, because it's not just the processor, but it's how they build Android, how customized Android is, whether it's got a whole bunch of stuff stacked on top of it, or it's a very reduced basic version.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, these phones are just so ripping fast and so powerful right now. I don't really feel like the speed spec is something that makes a huge difference anymore. I don't know what
not a feature
it wasn't.
you would look for.
It was in seconds, and if you probably saw the same grid I did, and the iPhone 10 was like got its ass kicked.
Yeah.
In all of the tests.
Yeah, which
like,
is
by
funny
several
because
seconds.
on paper, the iPhone processor should be killing it.
Right.
Yeah.
If you put it on, I think it was BGR did a story this morning that talked about just the specs. On paper, both the single core and the multi-core benchmark tests put the iPhone 10 or X, however you want to call it, well out ahead of these Samsung phones with the Snapdragon 845 built in. And yet, in real life, like in the stuff that you do every day, it looks like the Samsungs were actually coming out on top.
But you're also saying, though, that's not a huge feature for you. Sorry, Rick, what were you
I was just saying, when that's even how Apple markets it too. When we watch those big press conferences in September, they're like, the fastest chip on any smartphone around is going to blow you
How much of that
away.
is just software, like it's the
Right.
way the software is
If it's all
written.
buggy,
How much is bloated
it's buggy,
and-
and it does all these different unnecessary things, or if it has memory issues, it doesn't end up
Like, it's
being
actually doing
faster.
more functions than it needs to be. You could
Yeah.
like,
And yet, how
clean that
many
up a
people
little
have you
bit.
met that are walking around with an iPhone 10 going, God, it's just so slow?
Right.
Nobody.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not.
Well, because you're upgrading on your
Nobody,
super
never
slow
happened.
prior iPhones, you know?
but I mean that's a good point. So I mean, what they would have to do with this if they are going to compete on the speed level, if that's a feature that anybody really is concerned with, though, at this point, if you're on that high end of a phone, I guess you're spending a lot of money. You want everything to be top notch. But I don't. To me, I don't think that would be the huge issue.
I think to an extent. I mean, you don't want something taking 5 or 6 seconds to open.
Sure.
An app. Like there's
But
a
it's not
threshold.
going to. It's
There's a
already-
threshold, right?
Yeah.
But I think even the X was at like 4.5 seconds or something, or 4 seconds sometimes. Which is like, when you think about that, that's a kind of a long time to be like, I'm going to open something that I need to get to quickly. I mean, that's like probably as slow as like my
Maybe
iPhone
with
6
Pokemon
is.
Go, it took that long, but I feel like on most of the apps, it rips right through them. It
Sure.
loads them right up. Like you haven't thought of what you're going to tweet before it actually comes up with Twitter.
Right.
You know what though? I know I'm the video guy, but I would love to see a gorgeous 4K HDR OLED screen. Like even at these small sizes, those really good
The screen
screens.
is what you look. It's what sells you. For
Yeah,
me, that's why
it
I look at
dazzles
Samsung
you.
phones.
You enjoy looking at that all the time, and that's something I'll give the iPhone 10. Is it looks awesome. The S9 does too. But I want to see the Note 9 go next level with the display and really just knock it out of the park. I think that'd be awesome. Plus, like when I just spent a lot of time on the plane, but I really am. I'd like to ditch my iPad mini because it's just, it's a little bit heavy. It's one more thing to shove in the bag. If I'm already bringing a phone, I'll go big with the Note 9 or something like that and watch TV and movies on that thing when I'm traveling. Like, that's a great little travel screen size, You can hold it relatively close. You're like all engrossed, but you don't see any pixels. It's bright and it's dazzling. Yeah, that sounds awesome to me.
Well, and Charlie just suggested 2 screens, like a Nintendo DS.
Yeah,
I could see people actually
big.
utilizing that.
I want more RAM. That's what I want.
Something you could
I
watch
want to
Netflix
be able
on
to
and
open
also
like
use your
60 apps at once.
Yeah. Exactly. Never
I want
have to
8
shut
gigs
down
of
an app
RAM.
again.
I want like a crazy amount of RAM just to be able to open every app and never have to shut it.
Open them all the time.
And not have to be like creaking between and closing things.
I want to see such a badass processor and smart app programming that the batteries that we have now last longer.
Battery
Give me a
too.
longer
Give me a
lasting
big-ass
phone. So I
battery.
don't. That's the thing I love about my Dell XPS laptop right now is I moved from an older Asus Zen Prime laptop and it was great in its day. But when I moved to that Dell, I was like, holy crap! I just worked an entire day. Forgot to charge my laptop overnight and made it through half the day before I was like, oh, I should probably find an outlet. Like, put me on any flight, I'm fine. I'm going to be able to work the whole time.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that kind of confidence in a phone.
It's weird that hasn't been really changed either. Things have gotten a little bit more efficient, but if you look at the milliamp hours of batteries in phones, it's been pretty stagnant for a couple generations.
There's nowhere to take
'Cause,
lithium-ion battery technology.
That's it.
Yeah,
they have to come
and they
up with
just
something
want to
new.
make a thinner phone, and I don't care about the thin phone. We're going to put it in the massive case anyway.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Might as
As we're
well
talking about.
give me a
my
big
case,
battery.
yeah, it's
give
the
me
size of a brick, but
yeah, that's how
It's funny,
more battery.
the thinness of the obsession over the thinness of the phone came on strong, right? And then it kind of waned, and people were like, actually, I'll take performance over like super thinness, you know? So now we're seeing slightly thicker phones with like way better functionality, better cameras. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Camera.
Camera
you
is
want to see a
key.
kick-ass
Camera's key.
camera, but it's the same thing that happened in TV. Like everybody was going thin, and then people realized, by going thin, we're actually creating shittier picture quality.
Yeah.
Sorry for the bad word, guys.
for the
But
sensitive people in the
But
audience.
you go a little bit like more like thicker, and then you get way better
just
performance,
a little
right?
bit.
Yeah, you can
and
do all that
other
backlighting
things.
and-
you can do
yeah.
other things to make it look slick, right?
Right.
Nice smooth bezels, or a really dark black, case, or something that feels really good to hold in your hand.
So to that, I know we're jumping topics here, but with the wallpaper TV, what corners did they cut by going that thin?
They didn't cut any
an
corners.
OLED,
That's an OLED, and actually, I think we're going to cover that here in a couple
Okay.
of seconds.
We are
Yeah,
going
we'll
to
get
get
to
to
that.
that. Actually, we'll talk specifically about that OLED versus QLED and the new televisions that Caleb has seen. So anyway, there's where we're at right now with the Samsung Galaxy Note 9 rumors. Obviously, there's a lot more that'll be coming out, but it's expected that July or August this phone will come out to try to get the jump on the next iPhone. Let us know what you think in the comments, and you can read all about it at Digital Trends. Let's get to our next topic. Oh, also, I want to say hi to our friend Holly, who joined the chat.
Hey, Holly,
Our
miss
mutual
you.
friend Holly. Hi, Holly.
I was in New York twice, and she didn't reach out once. Thanks a lot.
This just got real sensitive.
She's so busy out
on
there.
this show. Somebody's a little hurt. All right, so let's talk about the other big rumor today, and this has to do with the Apple AirPods, which I don't know if any of you in here have them.
I do.
You do. Okay,
I do.
the Apple AirPods.
Only
Well,
for testing purposes. I never use them.
Do you wear them like Rudy Giuliani does?
No, my gosh! Did you guys see that picture?
amazing.
Oh my gosh!
That was amazing.
Maybe Riley can go fish it up and we can show it later.
They look
because
like
it's that
wings,
funny.
yeah. He's
But
like
yeah,
Icarus here.
they're,
or
they're
something.
supposed to come down at a slight diagonal angle, but mostly down.
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani.
He went
Like
full
wingtips,
Spock.
dude.
He
Yeah,
went full
wingtips.
Spock.
Oh yeah,
Let's fly away.
amazing.
Beam me up.
Sputnik.
Yeah, you got to see this. If we can find the photo, it's
all
funny.
right. We'll see if we can pull that up.
But yeah, I've used them. When
Yeah.
they first came out, I actually gave them a really great review because the true, I hate this term, but it's what we have to use. True wireless earbuds. There's no wires involved anywhere, right? Excuse me. Why don't I just die on the podcast?
Get this man some whiskey.
Exactly. If I had whiskey, that wouldn't have happened. But yeah, they were really good when they first came out, and then a whole bunch of competition came out, and they don't look quite so revolutionary.
You gave them a glowing review immediately when I think a
Yes.
lot of
Yeah.
people were kind of stepping on
They
them a
didn't
little
sound
bit.
great, but they
Right.
did all the other
They
things that
actually
people
worked.
wanted to.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
that was,
the
I think,
thing.
like,
That's
it
like
worked,
a
right.
pretty big
They were
hurdle
reliable
that
and
no
consistent.
one had really
Yeah.
jumped at the time.
Well, what they're
Yeah, I
talking
think
about
we actually have the photo here for Giuliani.
of Rudy Giuliani. Okay, so if you're
Oh,
watching
look at
live,
that.
that's sad.
Doesn't it just look like they hurt?
That's
like
the-
the way
Yeah,
he
how-
has, that
how
has
is
to
that
hurt
comfortable?
so much.
Also-
That is the worst advertising Apple could have ever had. That picture right there.
It looks kind of
That's that turns them into basically a cell phone clip.
Cybersecurity.
Uncle Rudy.
Yeah, cybersecurity expert Rudy Giuliani over here.
like an insect too. Like, I'm Rudy Giuliani.
Hey kids, I got my Apple AirPods.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well, anyway, the rumors about the
poor
next one's
grandchildren.
coming out, and it has to do with a patent that was filed talking about the charging case. Essentially, long story short, and you can read a lot about this at Digital Trends, is turning it into almost an iPod Nano. So an iPod Nano standalone streaming device, or a device that you would play music off of, which I like that idea for a couple of reasons. Just for, as far as if you're going hiking or going to the gym or something, you don't want to use your phone for everything. You can actually have that standalone service. And Parker, I know you were talking about this, that you would like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're working out, I'm so tired of strapping a phone to my arm. That's a big upgrade. And we've seen this in other charging cases for fully wireless earbuds before. Braggy did it with, I think that you can get up to 4 gigs of storage on their case, but that requires MP3s, and that's annoying. So if this tied into Apple Music at all, and would let you save playlists or something offline that you would otherwise have, it'd be really rad for working out.
I think that's the main tie-in is that the Apple Music thing because
Yeah.
Rick, right on your wrist right now, is a Garmin sports watch, right?
Like a music specific one.
Yeah.
That is designed to store music,
Yep.
so you can, and it's Bluetooth, right? You just beam it to your headphones,
You-
so you
you
just
can-
need Bluetooth headphones. You can play music working out without strapping the thing on.
Exactly.
And there's others out there too. Just to push back a little bit against Parker's point is that there is quite a
There's
few
one
gadgets
for Spotify,
out there.
the mighty.
That was what I was going to say. It's like the
Clip-on.
watches are doing that. So this one, obviously, Garmin did it specifically for music. You can upload it here, or you can stream music on like native apps, and then you just have Bluetooth headphones. Fitbit's new Versa does it. But
if you have the
this is
newest
the
Apple
headphones
Watch,
that
it has
come with
LTE.
it.
So
exactly,
you
it
can
doesn't
play.
come with
Doesn't
it, right?
come with
And the thing is, though,
headphones,
too,
though,
is that some of the apps you can't get like Apple Music or Spotify.
Yeah,
You're doing
yeah.
like iHeartRadio and Deezer, which is like, when was the last time you guys used either one of those?
I mean,
Yeah.
You know, so it's there. The idea is there, and the headphones as well too is there, and with watches. But it like a little bit further, and I think you'll have that. You won't ever need to bring this. And the thing with watches is that they also still have the built-in GPS, so you never need this when you're working out or running or biking or anything.
It's kind of classic Apple. Like take something someone else has done, but make it actually work for the majority of
and adapt
for
it
your
in a different
parents
way.
and
Apple
grandparents.
Music has tons and tons of users, and a lot of us still have a ton of stuff in iTunes that we bought, or maybe we just imported it into iTunes and still managing it that way if we're not just using Spotify for everything. But yeah, I think that, I mean, basically an iPod Nano is the charging case. Even if practically speaking, it's not the most revolutionary solution.
Right.
It's such an interesting idea, and it's Apple based that I think it's going to take off.
And I have a little a hunch about this. They came out with a rumor about having waterproof fully wireless headphones a couple weeks ago. There was a patent filed, that kind of looked like they might be coming out with some sport focused AirPods, and I feel like they might couch this technology into that and make a pretty cool set of workout headphones.
Something that's waterproof and sweat proof.
Imagine if you could swim with it. You know?
Well, because you can swim with the watch. If you can swim with the ear, I mean, that's like the next step.
I mean, then I worry about some Samsung electrocuting myself in the pool situation. But
those will explode in your ears anyways. We don't even need to be in a pool. So
we did see some melting AirPods at one point, but those are few and far between. I will say though that based on just what we're seeing in terms of interest in people searching our site for reviews, and also what the product people are reaching out to us, asking us to review or suggesting. Sports headphones, workout headphones are the hotness right now.
They really are.
Like Parker's review of the Jabra Elite 65T, which is a fantastic set of sports earbuds,
My
right?
favorite,
Awesome. That is the most crushing review we have on DT right now. It's like a pair of wireless earbuds? Really? That's it?
Yeah. It was
After
kinda
all this
shocking.
time of it just being kind of crash and burn, these guys got it right.
And Jabra,
they're actually working too. That's the thing. This next generation is starting to blow the original AirPods out of the water. So I think Apple really needs to get ahead of the curve again, and this could be an interesting way for them to actually do that.
Like you said, they've always been good about playing on trends and then adapting it to what works out for them. This makes sense right now.
And I think it's important to point out too that these are patents, right? So big shout out to Jace Wagner, who has been monitoring the patent filing board and looking for this stuff. He found it. He dug it up. We're looking at it now. Just because Apple files for a patent doesn't mean it's going to follow through, because they like to just own intellectual property, right?
Well, if you just look at patents that come through every day,
this makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Is where
and they
should
couched
go
it.
with
If you look at the patent, it's actually kind of hidden a little bit. I mean, they have to say what it does, but I had to dig a couple pages in before it even became obvious at all that this was for a player. And even in their paragraphs of legalese, it was pretty far down before they even mentioned the player aspect of it. But that seems to very clearly be what this patent was.
As opposed to a folding S9, I think this is a legit rumor.
It could happen. It could happen. The technology's there.
Not only that, it would be smart if Apple did it.
Yeah.
Well, and you're right. It is a big topic right now as far as that. Keelan's saying I use the Alltech Lansing Bluetooth set. It's waterproof. So I mean, obviously you can check out the Jabra review at digitaltrends.com and take a look there.
Do you think they'll get rid of the little golf tee style?
Yeah, that's what the patent for the sports earbuds had. It looked more like a traditional. They
have to go that
a couple
route.
years old, but
as
traditional as modern fully wireless headphones get. But it got rid of the T's, which I think was there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was there for transmission problems. They couldn't get Bluetooth through your brain because it's made of water.
Well, no, not just for reception of the signal from your device, but also between each other.
Yeah, between the earbuds.
Like you're saying, your noggin is actually a huge impediment to a weak wireless signal.
Yeah, Bluetooth doesn't like water, and your brain is mostly water. Yeah. So that's a problem.
Solve that problem. That's what we need to figure out. All right. Well, you can read all about those rumors again at digitaltrends.com. We've got to get to our next topics here. So we've got some time left to talk about televisions. And I wanted to do, since we do have Caleb on here, maybe get another wrap up of what the difference between QLED and OLED, because I feel like people still are not understanding what's going on with that, and then talk about the television that I think everybody in this room wants to buy. So let's talk about the QLED OLED.
So QLED and OLED, first of all, when Samsung first announced QLED, people were like, oh, come on, that sounds a lot like OLED. And everybody knows that Samsung and LG have been kind of duking it out. Samsung will not make an OLED TV. And if you're not familiar with the technology, OLED is what we call an emissive display, which means it has no backlight. Your TV right now, unless you have an OLED, has a bunch of LEDs or maybe just like one big bright compact fluorescent bulb in the back. And then it shines through a whole bunch of layers and then you get a picture. OLED is this ridiculously thin film with organic compounds in it that light up when you put electricity to them. So, I mean, you can have something that's paper thin, and as we've seen, you can roll it up in some cases, right? So that's super futuristic. People love it. Also, OLED has perfect black levels. In contrast, being like the most startling bit of a picture quality, it's the thing we consider the most important. OLED knocks it out of the park. They aren't as bright as LED TVs, but they don't really need to be when you have perfect black as a starting level, right? Whereas QLED was Samsung's kind of evolution of the LED TV. They're like, how are we going to make ourselves different? Because everybody's making a TV now, and we needed a branding thing, said Samsung. And so they went with QLED.
A letter that looks a lot like
oops, we smart. But to be fair,
Too late, you bought it.
The Q, they don't say it, but the Q stands for quantum dots, which makes TVs more colorful. It makes them brighter. It makes them more accurate, basically put. And so we get these 4K high dynamic range TVs from Samsung marketed under QLED, but they've got a whole bunch of different technologies going on that make them really awesome. Last year, between QLED and OLED won. Like, we did a versus, we weighed all the different factors, and even though the QLED TV was strong, not just in picture quality, but like in all these clever little things they do, like the wire that goes up to the TV is like fishing wire. It's fiber optic cable, and you can't see it, so it makes wall mounting super easy for like anyone. But this year, Samsung really upped their game, and the battle of QLED versus OLED is going to be really, really tight. I got to go hands-on with the TV in New York at an event and really dig into it. And actually, their flagship is on its way right now. Should have it early next week. Nice. So these reviews are going to be coming out. If you want to find out, among these amazing, super expensive, but less expensive than last year.
You got that big bonus check.
Yeah, get your bonus check ready, because these things are awesome. And Samsung has a bunch of clever elements that built into this TV that really do distinguish it. Because after the picture quality part, like, where do you go from there? How easy is it to use? Does it set itself up? Samsung will log itself into all your apps for you. Like, if you're logged into Netflix or Hulu on your phone, it'll get that information and just log in for you. So no more putting in usernames and passwords.
Kind of like the Facebook approach.
Yeah.
Just take all your data and just
and just pump it into the cloud.
Approach it.
Can I carry it like a taco? Is it foldable?
But you bring something else up. Samsung is doing a lot. They have an entire information security department designed to make their TVs less hackable, because right now smart TVs are super hackable. Yeah. Not a lot of people are going for that.
What do you steal from a smart TV?
Well, it depends on whether you're putting payment information.
Okay.
I need my Hulu Live TV Plus login, or your HBO.
They don't
password.
have cameras, do they? Looking at you?
Not anymore.
Okay.
Nope, they did that and people freaked out.
Like, thank you, no.
Yeah.
Did
So
the light
anyway,
just turn on?
lots of great reviews coming. QLED is awesome. OLED is awesome. They're the best performers out there. Also saw Sony's new stuff, and it's looking really strong and at a lower price point than the other guys. Like, Sony TVs are actually looking really competitive for a little less money, but none of them can touch the value, drumroll please, of the TCL 6 Series. TCL, ever heard of that brand? Anybody?
Yeah, we picked him as TV of the
last
year last
year.
year.
Right.
But
because
last
of
year was
that.
when it started
Before
coming
that,
strong.
no.
Yeah.
Exactly. TCL is a Chinese company, like Hisense, that isn't doing so great right now. But TCL, they doubled down on picture quality, and their design team went to town, and they decided to make a really competitive TV for an amazing price. And last year, their 55-inch 4K HDR HDR with Roku
TV,
built right in was somewhere around the $600 to $700 range.
That's outrageous.
Yeah, that's
what I
And that was the TV of the year.
That
right?
was
your
TV
product
of the year last year. And what I'm telling you is that the new one, they called that one the P series. This year it's the 6 series, is available in 55 and 65-inch variants. And I think they may push that up a little bit. But same stuff, 4K HDR. Roku is built in, and it looks even better. They added more backlights, more zones of local dimming. They upped the ante on the processing. Everything you do to make a TV look great. And we don't know what the price is yet, but we will soon. And they come out May 1st. My birthday. Just a coincidence.
Quick question about 4K.
Mark it down. Mark the calendar.
Question about 4K is at the 65-inch level, like that's when you really start to notice the difference.
Yeah,
right?
you can notice it at 55 sometimes if you sit really close.
Sure.
But 65 is where it just pays off, period. More importantly, HDR, high dynamic range, is where it's really at. And we're seeing tons of content coming out from Amazon and Netflix, which is where a lot of people watch their stuff these days.
Right.
As far as 4K.
Yeah, if you do 4K Blu-ray, all the movies are coming out with HDR now, and they look, that's the stuff anybody can see. Like, some people are like, I'm not really sure if the 4K thing is doing anything for me, but HDR is where it's at.
Well, not that you have an option with 4K these days, right? I mean,
Yeah, you don't.
Can you even,
No, there's only a
TV?
couple of 1080p TVs being made anymore. So, yeah, that's the other thing. If you're thinking about an upgrade and you're like, should I go 4K? It's not really a choice.
Yeah, you
you
have
will
to.
be going 4K.
and
The
it's $600
question
or
is-
$700. It's a
Right.
steal, right?
It's
That is
For
ridiculous.
all that
Hell
local
of a deal.
dimming too, like the black levels are going to be so much better.
Yeah.
And the
than
built-in
anything
Roku,
else.
like I have a Roku stick, and I love that thing. But have it built right into your TV and be seamless is
with
amazing.
voice
Yeah, I'm into
search and
that
all that
too.
good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super easy to use. Look, I can give that TV to my grandma, and she'll totally be able to figure it out. Big icon, super intuitive. Just ask for what you want, and it pops up. It's going to be amazing. Will it be TV year of the year again? I don't know, but it's definitely already in the running based on what I've seen so far.
I mean, just the price alone, that is
Yep.
amazing.
And here's the thing:
Yeah.
come Christmas this
Right,
year or
when
the
the sales
holiday
start.
season, when the sales start happening, October, November, December, that TV will be down by 100 or 150 in price. So under $600, that's for the 55. And I really do think under $1,000 for the 65 incher.
yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
Wow.
maybe in the 800s or something like that.
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
No, they're bringing it big time, and the great thing about that is that they're pushing the big guys, Samsung, LG, and Sony, to do even better. Make even higher value stuff. So everybody wins.
Like 65-inch 4K TVs were like $4,000 like 2 years ago, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
One's worth buying for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
you can read that entire review at digitaltrends.com. Take a look at the TCL and everything else that Caleb's been talking about. He really has been flying all over the place looking at these televisions. So if you
Such
want
a hard
an
job.
expert source,
TV
yes,
king.
it's very rough. Cry a tear for him, but
Yeah.
but he does know what he's
watch
talking about.
Guardians of the
There's a lot
Galaxy
to
2 again?
a lot to review on there. Although I will say, a savage scientist on YouTube says QLED is a joke. So
Come at me, bro.
come at me, bro.
We'll talk
Next
all
week,
about that.
scientist
Savage
versus Whiskey
scientist.
Mist.
Yeah, right.
That's the new Mortal Kombat right there.
DT Mythbusters.
Yeah. All right, the last couple of things that we need to get to here, just because I said we were going to talk about them, and we have to. It is, first off, Ford now has a car vending machine that is in China. I believe maybe we mentioned this before on here, but it's for test driving cars.
Wait,
it's
Ford?
It's Ford
In China.
in China.
'Cause
Teaming
we're
up,
not good enough?
Is there a GT?
teaming
on
up
there?
with Alibaba in some
Oh, there you
fashion
go.
as well.
And some fashion.
It's Ford and Alibaba teamed up. So I guess Alibaba designed the system.
Gotcha.
So it really is a vending machine.
Hello Kitty.
Yeah, right.
Helping
So
you
you-
buy a
Whoa.
car.
So
And
you
just, like,
sign
tweet them
up.
on
It
it.
takes a picture of your face for the scan, and
Why did
then
that-
there's
you know
a
that guy was giving a
giant
white
system
car?
with cars on different platforms, and it'll pull down the car you want. And yeah, they've got a Mustang is in the video of what they're showing.
Who picks anything
hell
other
yeah.
than the Mustang?
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you?
Yeah.
You go
Fusion,
there,
bro. I'm all about
You're
the
the
Fusion.
you're a Fusion guy. You're gonna go drive a white Fusion.
Man,
I'll
I'm
take the
gonna-
red Mustang, please.
I'm going to strip and dump that sucker and drift all day long.
There you go. Don't let Caleb use it.
This guy gone in 60
Don't let him
seconds
near a
over here.
Fusion.
Yeah.
I will
Going
steal
sideways,
that.
bro.
It's like, no, I'll take something practical.
Well,
Just
they're
escape.
they're trying to do it just to get people to try out more
Windstar.
cars. So I guess you can use it for 3 days. You can test up to 2 cars consecutively, and then I think that's where you're topped out. So you don't just constantly be like, oh, I'm going to test another car and just
It's like
keep
a
on
pinwheel
switching out
of
a new car.
cars.
Yeah. They try to keep you from doing
Carousel.
that. And they're aiming to have
They're all going to be gone. 20 minutes.
50 vehicles in it by 2025. So they're planning on keeping this thing going.
It's actually a long-term thing. It's not just
According to this,
they're going to
yeah.
all be gone.
Yeah, so test driving. Anyway, that's what they're setting up to test drive these vehicles. You can read about that. That's in China. And the final thing, the most important.
That's in China.
That's in China. So if you go to China, you can go there.
Breaking news, something happened in China.
Yes,
If you
can
speak
go read
Chinese
that.
and want a Ford in China,
Fly there. Let us know how you like it.
Yeah.
All right. Or fly Caleb there and he'll steal your car. The final thing, the most important technology that we have to talk about today is this. It's coming from a maker, Balaz Simon, and it's the vehicle's called a Walla Beer. And it basically looks like a Roomba, only it's a tank, like a tank version of a Roomba. It actually has treads like a
Kinda
tank.
looks like that
It's a tiny little thing.
Sandcrawler
And the most important
vehicle
part,
from
it
Star
delivers
Wars.
beer to you.
doesn't it?
Does it
it
deliver?
shoot it at you?
Please shoot the beer.
Yeah, shoot it.
If it shoots it
gonna
up,
shoot?
No,
No.
it raises up like it's a turret, like a turret, like it's a rocket that's going to launch off. And
It
that's
only
where
fits
the beer
one
is.
bottle. I feel like you could
That's
innovate
the
with
issue.
cans.
That's the issue. So there are some problems.
Yeah.
With the
Does
technology.
it keep it cold? Is there a little fridge in there? Compressor?
Well, you're asking the hard questions here.
Guys,
I need to know how cold my robot beer will be.
I think it's more important. It's just bringing you the beer is the most important
Yeah, but
part.
I mean,
No matter where you
preload it and then go do whatever I'm doing, and then
you can go
like-
grab beers from the fridge.
well, it'll follow you
think it's
around
just like-
too. And so
play,
oh, it actually follows you.
you can follow it and you can say, give me a beer. And then it'll open up and open
You could play a really mean
You may not have
game
to say
of,
it so aggressive, but
You could play a good game of True American with that.
You know-
it just follows you around.
I feel like this is the problem with having a conversation with a bunch of tech geeks. It's
Yeah.
like a guy built a beer delivery
cold is
robot, and Parker's like, "Is it cold? How cold is it? Does it have a fridge?"
it's not very efficient.
Couldn't
to put
you
your
I have
hold
a
it
hand-
generator
more
in my
than one?
basement. Here's the thing: like, I'm an avid home brewer, big beer nerd, and just one beer is not going to cut it, especially if it is not cold. I have a kegerator in the basement. I can already I could probably train my dog to pour a beer.
Get away from me, beer tank.
I don't want you.
I don't even know I bought you.
No use for you.
I'd still take it if you want to send one our way. We'll give it a whirl.
This guy's listening. He spent like 5 years designing this. We're
There's
just like
there's
garbage.
no way I'm sending this thing
It
to
needs a
Parker.
compressor.
He'll
It
dump on
needs-
it and crush my dreams and career.
You could, even if you just put like an ice pack in there. I'll take it.
I will test out the Walla beer, and
Also,
I'll be perfectly happy with my warm single beer.
It
That's
looks
fine with me.
suspiciously like an Izzy in that video. I'm not gonna lie.
Also,
I
was
saw
that
the
a
cap.
Heineken in there?
It did. Was it a Heineken?
I don't know. It kind of looked like
It
Yeah,
did
it
not
kinda
look like
looks
a.
or it's a Dos
normal
Equis,
beer.
I think.
It's a Dos
Is it?
Equis.
Okay.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. I
Mexican
don't know.
lager. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, either way, the point is, there's a beer robot. It's the most exciting technology
no
you'll ever
whiskey.
read about.
Lager Mexicana.
You can read about it at digitaltrends.com. Check out all of that. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, wherever you get podcasts. Leave us a review. Make sure you get each episode every week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with another episode. Nothing impresses you guys.
Congratulations. You just made it through the most difficult podcast of your life.